We're going to go through the warm-up, and then we'll talk about what our plan is for today, and then it's review day, so it's going to be a big work day because you got a test coming up. So these are both STAR questions. Actually, this whole page is STAR questions, but there's same types of questions that are going to be on your test next class because we got some multiple choice there. So the first one says, which expression is equivalent to 9n squared minus 25? And if you look at your answer choices, you can see that they're all in that factored form, okay? So this is telling me, even though it doesn't say factor, when it says what's equivalent, you're probably doing either factoring, you could be multiplying, like that's kind of a broad type of question. Now, here's the thing I want y'all to know, because you will see this on your test. They have to be in the order ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, and if they're missing this term, then what do we put in the middle right there? Not a 1, a 0. So the first thing I did was rewrite it as 9n squared plus 0n minus 25. If you don't like the variable change, you can swap it to x's. Okay, I don't know why they do different letters on the star. It's annoying. But then I went through my process, but you got to know if you're skipping that middle term, put a 0 in the middle, and it will help you figure out the number puzzle. So remember, your number puzzle is first times last, which is negative 225. Do you remember how to do that in the calculator to help you? What do you put in your calculator? I saw a ton of y'all do it. What do you do? Negative 225 divided by x. Okay? And then you go through and you find the numbers that add to be what? What do they need to add to be? 0. What numbers are those? Negative 15 and 15. So then you go to 4 terms. You bring your squared term down. You do your number puzzle. You can pick whatever order you do the number puzzle. It does not matter. But the first and the last have to stay the same, and you group. You take out GCFs, and you group, and then you end up matching with your answer choices, which is G. Okay? You will have a question worded kind of like this with multiple choice on this test. There's a couple multiple choice. Not a lot, but there's a couple. How can you check your work on these? Anybody remember? Has to do with y equals. I showed y'all this before the last test. I don't know if anyone did it.
Put the answer in it?
Well, what do you put it? You do put the answer in. I put the answer that I get in y2. So let's do 3x plus 5 and 3x minus 5. And then what would I put in y1?
The equation.
Put the
Original. No, you put the original. 9x squared minus 25. I put my problem in ink in y1. I can put my answer in y2. And y'all, you can go and check every single problem on your test that you turn in. Like if you feel confident and you check it, you'll know if you made 100. Okay? How do you know that they're the same? What's going to happen when you go to the table? No one remembers this?
No.
This is like the best kept secret, okay? How do you get to the table?
Second graph.
Second graph. And if you go to second graph and you see all the same numbers, I know my calculator is kind of small, but I see a blue negative 25 and a red negative 25. Then I see a blue negative 16 and a red negative 16. All these numbers are the same. So what does that mean? The expressions are the same, which is the same thing as equivalent, which means I did it right. Okay? So if it is multiple choice, I want you to show your work. I want you to show your work on this test. We're at the point where I need to make sure you understand the work, but you can check all your answers. Okay? All right, this next one, again, I already worked these out, but this one says which expression is a factor. Okay, this one, you're not able to just use your answer choices and work. You actually have to go factor it, and you will have one like this on your test. So you do the number puzzle again. Yay, yay, yay. You do your 4 terms, and you group. But only one of your factors is an answer choice. So you kind of have to get through the whole thing, find them both, and then match which one actually works. But again, you could check and see if you're factored correctly. You would put this in Y1 and this in Y2. And if they have the exact same table, then you know, oh, I did it right. Okay? So you have some test questions like that are multiple choice. 31 is kind of a throwback question. I think there was one like this last warm-up, but it's just asking you to plug in a specific value for x. So I did that. I just replaced x with a -5. This won't be on your test. This is just, we try to throw some random stuff to review every once in a while. And then I just put in my calculator what I underlined. 7 minus 4 times negative 5. That gives me a value of 27. There's probably going to be one on the EOC. If you didn't write it down, I would write it. Okay? It should be an easy type of problem. You just have to know what to do. It probably, to be honest, I could see this being one that you type in, like a free response. But you just plug a number in for X and put it in your calculator. So it's pretty easy. Okay? But you only type this side in your calculator. You don't have to type this f of negative 5. That's just like what I'm finding. Okay? So, today is review day. We've been factoring. You guys did more factoring last class. We had a CFU. It was not so great. There was a mistake on an answer key that we caught later. And I think it took a little bit longer than I told Coach to give y'all. So that was my bad. But sometimes that just happens in the first class. So I kind of want to go over. I have this little help sheet. We're not going to do all of it. But I want all of you to have this. And we'll kind of go over one of each type of problem. And then we're going to work on test review. But I just want to show you, like, when is your test, first thing?
Friday.
Next class, which is Friday for y'all, okay? It's not a super long test, so we will be able to kind of do a little warm-up. I have, like, a slides thing that we can practice with as a warm-up, and then we can go. But I want y'all to get your review done before, okay? That needs to be done. And I'm going to be taking that and checking it for completion. And then I also have a GIM kit that I posted. If you want to go through and play that and tutorials or something, that's on there. And then there's, I think we might get into Mathia a little bit today too, at the end if we have time.
What's a Matthew?
It's like an online,
Is that like? Is it
I don't know. It's yeah, we're gonna try it.
like
It's a thing that you can work on, like an online platform that you can work problems. They can give you hints. They can give you helpful reminders, that sort of thing. We're kind of learning how we can pick and choose what's in there, and so we might be doing that a little bit more. Moving on. Whatever. Okay? All right. So that's what we're going to do today. So any of you guys are planning to retest from Unit 7. That's exponent rules and polynomials. Please come during power lunch, second half today or tomorrow. We can review your test one day. You can take a retest. So let's get that out of the way because we are running out of time on that. And I want y'all to be able to move past Unit 7 and be ready for Unit 8. So if that is you, come in. Okay, so what we're going to do, what I like about this sheet, I worked really hard on this sheet, and then I was upset that my copies ended up being yucky. But I kind of broke it up into 3 types of problems, which you will see, I believe, all these types of problems on your test, okay? And then I went and I took some phrases from the notes or typed some stuff out for you, so you have some notes on the side. I do want to talk about this first section because there was some of this on the CFU. And again, this is one of the questions that the answer key was wrong, and that's my bad. But I want to make sure you know what to do because you will see it on the test. Does everyone understand that?
Yeah.
So where it just says factor GCF, you don't have to do the number puzzle. You don't have to do the grouping. This is just take the GCF out and stop. Okay, so this is a lot quicker than these problems down here. Okay?
It's already grouped for you, essentially.
Basically.
Right? I mean, that's when we're looking at grouping. It's just we're looking at 2 things. So that's what we're doing there. Sorry, Mr. Craig. Go ahead.
No worries. So I put some definitions for you. I put some steps. You divide out the common factor. It's placed outside of I don't think I typed the word parentheses, but you can put those there. Okay? So these honestly should be pretty quick and easy. Now, here's how we play. We need to look at the numbers, the 2 coefficients, and we need to find the greatest common factor between the 2. So start with the smaller number. What is smaller between 14 and 8? 8 is smaller. But is 14 divisible by 8? 14 divided by 8 is not a whole number. So is 8 going to be our GCF? No. So then what do I do if it's not the smaller number? Just go the next one. What's 8 divided by 2? 4. Is 14 divisible by 4? No. So then I go the next one. So I tried 8, that didn't work. I tried 4, that didn't work. What's the next factor? 2. Is 14 divisible by 2?
Yes.
So then my GCF is 2. Okay? Do they both have an X?
Yes.
So can I take an X out?
Yes.
Do you need to take the X out?
Yes.
Yes. So this is my GCF. Where do GCFs go?
Front.
At the front. So I put it there, and y'all make sure you put it there. Like you have to write it like how I'm about to write it. And then to get the middle terms, or what's left inside, what do you do with that GCF?
You divide.
You divide. I'm going to have to write small because there's not a lot of room. So what's 14 divided by 2?
7.
7. What's x squared divided by x? What's 8 divided by 2? What's x divided by x? No.
0.
Simplifies out. It's x to the 0, so it simplifies out. You can mark it out like that. This is the answer. Don't leave the GCF off. Make sure you divide correctly. That is your answer. Okay? Number 2's not too bad. You can do this one on your own. Can you take an x out on number 2?
No.
Why not?
Because
They both don't have it.
They both don't have it. Okay? All right, let's do 4. Okay? Factor by grouping. This is more of the process that we've been doing. But how many terms do we already have on this?
4.
4. So do we have to number puzzle here? No, we just go through and we group. And we take our GCFs out. So again, like Coach was saying, the first 2 problems are just like, little halvesies right there. Okay? What can I take out of 2x squared plus 6x?
2.
2 what?
2x.
2x.
Both have an X.
Sorry, the spacing is not great on this. And then what's left over when I divide it out?
Ooh, 2x.
No. What's 2 divided by 2?
Oh, 1x.
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 Plus
3.
Okay. Now, the second group, remember, you always steal the sign of that third term. And you need to put the sign there. So since that third term is a positive x, I'm dropping down a positive sign. But what can I take out of x and 3? Can I take out an x?
Yeah.
I can't. Can I? Is there an x here?
Wait, no.
No. Can I take out a 1?
Yes.
Do we normally take out a 1 and write it down? What's the exception? If it's in the second group, we've got to have a number there. This is like the one place that we do want to write a 1 right there. And what's nice about dividing by 1, does it change anything?
No.
So I just have x plus 3. Is this your answer?
No.
No. Okay. But how do you know it's right?
Because they both match.
Because they match. So how many times are you going to write that? And then what goes in the, what's the other factor?
2x plus 1.
2x plus 1. 2x plus 1. Okay? All right. You'll be fine on 5. I do want to talk about 6. We're going to do 6, and I'm going to give you a little hint on 7, but it's like on the warm-up, so we're not going to do this whole page. But make sure you box what your answer is, okay? So you know. I don't know if is that right? Okay. All right. One thing that happens on number 6, which I actually didn't put it in step number 1. Add a little dash right here that says check for GCF. Write that in your steps because we always want to check at the very beginning before we do our box or our grouping and see if we do have a common factor to take out at the front. It just makes life easier, okay? So when I look at number 6, I look at can I take out an X on number 6? Do they all have an X? No. But what are the coefficients? 4, 14, and 12.
They're all divisible by 2.
They're all divisible by 2. They're not divisible. 4 is divisible by 4. 12 is divisible by 4, but 14 is not. So I would need to go down to 2. Okay? So let's take that out first. 2 parentheses. What's left over if you divide out a 2?
2.
Squared.
I don't know that.
2x squared plus 7x plus. Good. Okay? And then when I have my GCF, y'all, I'm going to drop it way down to the bottom to my final answer.
It goes at the front of the desk.
It goes at the front. GCFs always go at the front. But then after I put it in my answer blank, I don't need to look at it anymore. I am now focused on this guy. Okay? Trinomials. So we check for a GCF. Then what do? Complete the number puzzle. All right, Zane, walk me through the number puzzle for the underline part.
Okay, you gotta put you gotta do negative, or not negative, my bad. 4.
No. You're doing it now. Once you take the 2 out, you're done with this. You're going from here.
You can basically mark it out like
Two
Mr.
2
Carter just
times
did.
6.
2 times 6 is,
12.
Something 12.
and then what goes at the bottom?
Positive 7.
Positive 7. Okay? So then you can go y equals 12 divided by x.
Number puzzle?
Get your number puzzle. This one you might be able to do in your head. Might not. Anybody know those numbers?
No.
What'd you get?
KJ got it.
3 and 4. 3x and 4x.
Oh, that makes sense.
If you know your times tables, the number puzzle's a little easy sometimes. Okay? And then we go. What do y'all want to? What goes first when we go to 4 terms?
GCF. No. I gotta use my brain.
2x2.
The A.
2x2.
The A. Okay? Then, does it matter what order you put these in? Which order do y'all want to put? Which one do y'all want to put first?
Just do 3x.
So plus 3x plus.
4.
What goes last?
Oh,
Plus 12.
6.
Oh, plus 6.
Remember, it might help y'all if you take a GCF. Do what I did. Mark out the problem, so you don't get confused. Okay?
Hey, do you guys understand where the 3 and the 4 are coming from?
Number 6.
It's coming from there, but it's
Yeah,
what
3 plus 4
7x
equals
is.
7.
Yeah, so we're splitting 7x and writing 3 plus 4. The A and the C just stay the same.
The whole expression is still the same. We just kind of wrote it in a creative way to make it groupable. So now we can GCF. Okay?
Yes, that's good.
What can you take out of 2x squared plus 3x?
An x.
Just an x, and what's left over?
2x and then 3 plus
Plus
3.
3.
Some of y'all are catching on.
Yep, I'm a genius.
Okay, we're going to take out a positive number because this one's positive. Heidi, what can I take out of 4x and 6?
2.
A 2. And what's left over?
2x.
Write it down.
Do they match?
2x squared plus 3x plus 4x.
I'm going to write my final answer over here. GCF
Wait,
from the
they're two
front.
different numbers.
Oh, we wrote 6.
What do you mean they're 2 different numbers?
Oh, they're not, Braden.
She did it.
Oh, no, they're not.
4.
I was just blind and read the wrong question. I read the one right above it.
Oh, okay.
No, I read the GCF because I meant to rewrite it and I didn't have enough room. I read the GCF.
Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, so there's my final factored form. So watch out for that. I believe there are going to be like ones like that on the test that do have a GCF at the beginning. So really make sure you make a habit to check for that at the beginning. I'm not going to work number 7, but I will tell you, you're going to see it. What do we do with this? We did it on the warm-up. What's missing? I need to write, no, I have a x squared. I have 16x squared. What do I not have?
The third number. So you use 0.
0x minus. You're going to see that. You're going to see that. It's on the review. It's on this. It's going to be on the test. Okay? So
I got this.
I'll work the rest of this and put it on Canvas if you do want to check that. But now I want to spend the rest of our time working on the actual test review. I do have an answer key to that as well. I'll keep it up here on the podium. I got to print it. But I'll keep it on the podium. But remember, you can check your stuff in your calculator. So really, you shouldn't need an answer key because you should be able to go and check these. Okay? But there's a lot of problems. You got the rest of the class to work. If you finish this and check it, I'm going to have you guys get in Mathia. Okay? And I'll help you do that. I'm going to put instructions on the board. But test is next class. It's a big test. It's only 1 grade. Okay? It's only over 1 thing. So it's only 1 grade. That's a big deal. And we're going to keep factoring for the rest of the school year. Okay? Oh, yeah. Okay, so here's the review. I want you to draw a line between 1 and 2. Okay? How do you factor 1 and 2? 1 and 2. What's the only thing you can check for? GCF. Okay? After that, the rest of these guys, these are all number puzzles, grouping, that sort of thing. Okay? 3 through 8. You have to do the whole process with that. But 1 and 2, it's just GCF and stop. 7 and 8, think about what needs to go in the middle of those. Okay? And then there's some multiple choice practice in the back. Make sure you check for GCFs because there are some problems that have GCFs at the beginning. So I might go here on 3, 4, and 5 and just make a little note to check. If they have one, take it out. If they don't, go to your number puzzle. Okay? They may not, but some are going to. All right, this is what we're working on now. Let us know how we can help. This needs to be done when you walk in the room on Friday. No more, oh, I didn't finish. If you don't finish, then you have homework.
No.
So come to tutorials. I have second half today, second half tomorrow. No excuses.